What's up, guys? I'm Alex.
I'm Jason. We're the Table Monkeys, and we are here to recap the Arm Melter Brockville event that we went to.
Yep.
And we've both been training hard for, and it was a good day overall.
It was a very long day, but good day for Table Monkeys.
We both walked away with one of these bronze medals. Mine is for right arm, 220 plus class.
And then I won. I got bronze in the left-hand 220 class.
Yeah.
Came fourth on right.
And I came fourth on left in the 220 plus.
Yeah.
So basically, exact same day, just opposite arms. Arms switched.
You're left-handed and I'm right-handed.
Yeah, and my left is probably better, but than my right. And even Evan said it felt better than my right, but my right, I don't know, was performing better. It's also, I think it has to do, like you said, the long day. The tournament, how late it was that I had to pull left arm. I was just kind of tired by that point. I felt like maybe I was a little asleep at the table on some of the last pulls.
Yeah, I think we started around 3:30, 4 o'clock-ish.
Like open?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was after 4.
And then finished at 11, the super heavies.
Yeah, exactly. So really long day, and we were obviously there before that watching some of the novice and everything.
Yeah.
But overall, Table Monkeys had a good day. We walked away with 3 belts, I guess, maybe 2.5, because one of them was won by Ursula, who's the first one we'll talk about, who's technically an arm cat, but also an honorary Table Monkey for sure.
Yeah.
I guess we can claim the belt as partially ours as well, because Jay Askey asked me to work her corner for her, which was a lot of fun, because when someone's as gifted as her, you just kind of give them the simple direction, and she followed it, and it worked. Basically, all I did was try to analyze her opponent and just, go for the weakness. So if it looked like you should go through their hand, I just told her to hit high and go through the hand. And if it looked like she could, take their arm, then told her to go inside. But
So she ended up winning right hands, so getting the belt there, and then got second on left.
And
she had an injury going in, I don't know if she had an injury, but she was definitely feeling
something
really
happened
sore.
Her first pull. I don't know if she noticed it or knew about it before, because
she told me beforehand.
That she knew about it.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that. So I guess her left arm was hurting. You can see in the first pull, she's obviously kind of nervous about it, or it tweaked a little bit, but then every other match she just ends up fighting high and outside and trying to push to the side and realizing oh no, that really doesn't feel good, so it just turns everybody into a hook and then crushes them. The only one she couldn't do that with was Laura, who is also a beast, and she had a really good day. She looked super strong and super connected and on fire on her left arm, so honorable loss for Ursula to have to go down to Laura with a sore arm. So great day for her. She got one of the belts, and that was a lot of fun. And then it was Alexander next, right? He's the next guy. Yeah.
Who he probably would say he underperformed a little bit on right arm.
Yeah.
Even though he did end up getting third.
He's got a little bit of a wrist thing going on that he's dealing with. So there's some positions that he's used to being able to be really strong in that don't feel, that he kind of as soon as the go happens or right before, he feels like a sharp pain, and then he kind of gets forced away from those areas. So I feel like that's part of what's happening.
So he ended up losing his wrist a lot of times because he would lose his riser, and then people would be going through his hand because no one wants to hook that guy.
Yeah, which is not usually, which is also, even though you don't want to hook him, it's very hard usually to take his hand.
Yeah.
But this little tweaks obviously made it, given a bit of a gap. So yeah, he definitely would have felt that he's underperformed, but hopefully it's nothing too serious. And he's really right now trying to get as many tournament pulls in as he can, because he's really focusing on trying to go to Worlds. So the idea is, get as many as he can right now, then take a good amount of rest. He's only 17, so he'll heal up quick as fuck.
Yeah.
And
he's actually, he was going to compete this weekend, but he's not. He pulled out, right?
I think he's still going to pull left arm though.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
So he's pulling on right hand.
But he's not going to pull right arm this weekend. So that's going to be the extra needed rest he'll need. But then left arm,
he crushed it.
Just dominated on left arm. And I'm just trying to remember how the wins went. I feel like I don't remember him having too much of a battle.
No, there was no hard matches really. I mean, he beat Eves pretty easily.
It wasn't like everyone was a flash, but he gained control right away.
Yeah.
Basically in every match.
I think he probably could have, but he just decided to take hand control and then comfortably go sideways.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah.
And then walked away with a belt.
Smooth victory for that. Yeah.
It was definitely a competitive class. Everybody's class was competitive. The whole event, I think there was 250 entries in total, so or more than. So
almost as big as provincials.
Yeah, almost as big, and I would say more competitive. Like, at least my class was definitely more competitive than provincials.
Yeah.
Like, provincials, other than Curtis, it was a very easy day, really. And then Curtis was just way too far ahead. And at this one, Curtis was still that level above the rest of us, but the tier right under Curtis, like Evan, myself, Jaden, that was a pretty stack. And then even with Jordan and Cameron in there, like there's some guys, a lot of guys that you could definitely lose to. Like, it wasn't a day where you could just kind of take it easy at all. So next was Anthony.
Anthony's class on
was
left arm
was a little small, but still competitive. Like, there were still strong guys in there. Ian's no joke left-handed. Tyler is really bad recipe for Anthony left-handed. So
he learned how to deal with him really well.
Really well. That was definitely the best. I think highlight of his day was kind of trying to turn him into a hook out of the strap, realizing it wasn't going to happen, slipping. That was definitely my highlight for him, was having the awareness to make sure to actually slip in that position and not get stuck trying to hang on and stop him. And then once he was in the strap, he just made it look like a walk in the park. Like, just got control with his shoulder and then just pushed him down. Which he's finding this tricep press now, that once he gets over his hook, it's just, he can just apply his basically 400-pound bench press, and it's working good for him. So looked stupid strong, and walked away with a belt. That was the third and final belt for Team Table Monkeys. So super proud of all those guys.
After that, it was us, and we also wanted belts, but fell a little short.
A little bit.
On right, I was doing well at the start. Beat Jonathan Prue. I forget how to say his name, but the Slim Reaper, 6'7" guy who is like my rival now. Beat him twice.
He was your first match at Provincials too, wasn't he?
First match at Provincials and then first match at Arm Melter. I managed to get a win on Chris Doucette, which was probably my best win on the day.
Definitely best win on right arm for the day.
Beat a couple guys who were very new, and then I lost to Alan Ford, getting caught trying to slip. And obviously, he's just immensely strong and fast. So
just a funny karma note, because he was saying literally earlier that day, he was made a comment that there's no excuse for
getting pinned outside
of the strap. Like, you should always be able to slip. It's always possible. And then I think 2 of your 3 losses were shitty slips that got called.
Well, I didn't even get to slip against Alan.
No, Alan's so fast. His right is definitely back to top form, really connected, and it was impressive to see how fast he hit you, and for you not to be able to get out from that kind of a hit that's usually one that you're very able to get out of.
I was very nervous in the setup, and before the go even happened, I had already dumped my wrist trying to slip, and then I was here, and he was on top and just smashed me down. Sean Emery was so fucking strong in center and just applying just rigid side pressure and with a rock solid hand. I tried to press him outside the strap. It went nowhere. I managed to flop underneath, get to the strap. And in the strap, my game plan was King's move with this guy.
I don't know if you were thinking that before I told you to, but I definitely knew that was going to be a good recipe for him, and your King's move has been feeling really good. How did it feel? Did it feel like you hit it late? Because it looked like you didn't get the hit off to get into his hand a bit before he started to drive. It looked like he started to drive, and then you tried to rotate into his hand.
I tried to hit, but I didn't move at all. In the setup, I actually felt good. Like, he was complaining a lot about my fucking weird John Brzenk hand setup, which made me feel a little bit better in the setup. But then as soon as the go happened, I tried to get as much rotation as I could, as he was getting close to the pad. And I stopped him a centimeter below the pad, and it was over.
It was definitely a pin, but it
was slowing down
an inch higher, and it would have been a stop. So there's something there, and Sean's definitely back on his game. His side pressure looked good. He said he's feeling really strong. So not a bad loss. He used to be number 6 at 242. I think was the highest, or maybe even higher than that on the rankings.
Fair enough, yeah. So
he's just and his game is that it's like just super hard side pressure. So it sounds like he's on his game.
My third loss was to Chris Doucette, who had decided he wanted to get to the strap against me and try something different, and he was just grabbing me like he wasn't even holding on to me, just trying to slip, and I was just determined to go inside. And as soon as the go happened, I lost my hand completely, and shitty slip underneath. I thought it was a slip for a strap, but they called it, what do they call it? Intentional slip.
If I were calling it, I would have called it an intentional slip in a losing position, because you were pretty well on his side of the table by the time you got out, and you were clearly like dumping underneath to get out. So I feel like harsh WAF rules, and that would have been the call for sure.
Right.
I don't think he got you to the pad.
No, it wasn't not a pin for sure. I would agree with that.
It was definitely what you said. I think that there's like a number of different kinds of mistakes you can make, but the two main ones I think are either game plan or technique. So like either you, like for me, we'll get into my matches in a minute. I was making a lot more technical errors where you're, going for one thing but performing something else, or not performing the technique proficiently. And then game plan errors are like you're fixated on a certain game plan, as executing a certain thing, and either you've picked the wrong card, or you're not ready to. You're picking the wrong card. You're focusing on the wrong thing. So that was definitely a game plan error for you, where you got too fixated on wanting to press him and not thinking far enough ahead of like, if I just slip, once we're in the strap, he can't play this stupid I can't hang on to you game, and I'll be able to just press into him. So
because I did beat him in a press in the strap the first time. So I don't know why I was scared to go in the strap with him, because he was very strong.
So no, overall though, good day for you. Fourth place, right? On the right arm, and solid competition. Like the guys ahead of you were Alan, Chris, and who was the other?
I was actually John Crew, who I beat twice, but he came back from the seaside.
So
that's how Sean Emery,
and that's how tournaments go. He has that long lever. I guess he got over Sean's hand. But good day overall. And then your left arm was really good.
Left arm was feeling really good off the bat. Beat a couple of the newer guys, then faced Alan Ford, and immediately in the setup I could feel that I'm stronger, just a hair, and I just had a very clean hit and took his hand and got the pin, and I was like super fucking fired up after that. Probably got a little cocky, to be honest. And then when I faced Chris Doucette the next round, we slipped, went to the strap, and then we were fighting enough that we went to ref script, and then as soon as he closed his hand, he got a little bit of a cup, and as soon as the go happened, I was like, oh no, I'm fucked. His wrist. And I was already in a hook, and I had decided to just complain to the ref instead of actually fight from my shitty hook. So like I lost the match. In retrospect, I should have just fought, even though I felt like I'd gotten screwed over. But that's how she goes sometimes, unfortunately.
So that's the point of doing tournaments and this whole game, and why it takes so long to get good at it, is there's so many lessons to be learned, right? And then when you lost to Alan twice.
Then I lost to Alan Ford twice. He flash pinned me. Twice.
See, that's again the experience. He felt what you did the first time, and then was able to kind of take away what he needed to get you the second time. But you still finished third on left after that, so still a really good performance. And then for me on right arm, had a good day. I got a tough match right off the bat. I got Evan Burgoyne right off the bat, and I was determined when I got in there. I was determined to go inside and go arm to arm with him, but for some reason in the setup and everything, I felt like we got to the strap, obviously, because he's always going to go for the strap, and that was like we could have just agreed to it. But I feel like with him, it's better to try to make him work a little bit, because I feel like endurance will be more in my favor. So didn't agree to the strap, went to slip, and then once we were in the strap, like I said, I really wanted to go in, but I just felt like even if I didn't mean to, like instinctually I just hit back and up, which I'm really trying to fight and get over and train myself out of, like bringing myself forward. So ended up outside. It was a decent hit. First one I got called for an elbow foul, and then the next one we got into a ref's grip, and I wasn't thinking that I already had a foul, so my intention, because he got his hand closed first, so my intention was as soon as I closed my hand was just go and try to get the foul for the restart so that I would get my hand closed first, forgetting that I just got a foul, so I would have fouled out if I had done that. So I hit a little bit early, ref didn't call it, so I was like, okay, fine, I'm on this side now, but then I was like kind of down and on this side and looking for a King's move. So King's move felt pretty good against him. He didn't pin it. I ended up elbow fouling off the back, and he was coming off the front as he was trying to press when I did elbow foul off the back. So I'm not saying that he elbow fouled, but like he was getting close to it too. So making him really work for it, which felt good. Then had a bunch of wins on right arm. So I beat Robin. Yeah, I beat Robin. I beat Cameron Quayle. I beat Sam Chappelle. I beat. I pulled Zach as well, right? Did I or no?
Maybe.
I thought I beat him right hand as well. He beat me left, but anyway. And then I ended up getting to Evan again, and this was definitely my highlight of the day, match of the day. Was able to actually go inside with him. Still, I have this issue when I do hook that I drag right away, so I end up like hooking and then falling away, as opposed to like hooking, really getting my position set and fighting for center of the table before trying to pull them, you know, to my side of the table, which is something I'm going to work on for my next training block. And so I did do that, but I was able to win center enough with him and felt really good on the table with him. He went for a drive. I was able to stop it, able to get position and continue to just get him a little bit further and further and further outside of his shoulder until he elbow fouled. And that ended up being his second elbow, or his second foul, because I got him with a nice cheesy foul in the ref's grip. So when we were in ref's grip, the ref closed my thumb, and then when he went to close Evan's thumb, Evan closed his thumb like before the ref touched it. And I just looked at Troy like, what? Right? And he was like, and then he looked at Evan and went, one foul. Right? And I was like, fuck yeah, all right, cool, I got a foul. And then in the match, Evan totally forgot that he already had a foul, so he tried, because he was so out of position, he tried the professional elbow foul like this to get a restart, but it was actually a second foul, so win.
That's unprofessional.
Yeah. So I'm fine to win on fouls. That's part of the game. Obviously, I would prefer to have pinned him, but he didn't pin me either that day. So I feel like definitely catching up and definitely a good improvement for me on right arm. And then against this absolute beast of a kid named Jaden Cook, who actually started arm wrestling the same day as me. So his first tournament ever was Brockville 3 years ago. Same thing. And I pulled him at that tournament. I think I beat him that day. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure. I think he said that too, that I did beat him. And if I didn't, Jaden, make a comment. Let me know that you beat me that
both
first
of your
day.
anniversaries.
Yeah, it was both of our 3-year arm wrestling anniversaries, and he has just grown up a lot. If that was 3 years ago, he would have been 19, because he's 22 now. So he's definitely filled out a lot. He's got the same size hand and same size arm as Devin, basically, like just stupid long lever, really good inside, really good presser, and super intimidating hand. So when I got into the setup with him, even though Lewis, one of our honorary table monkeys, like one of the OGs, and definitely one of the best like coaches and coaches' eyes that we have on the team, he told me beforehand, go through his hand, like trust your hand and go through his hand. And I didn't listen. By the time when I got in the setup, I felt so intimidated by his finger pressure here, and the depth, more so than the pressure, was how deep he was able to get around my hand with his fingers, that I felt like, oh, I don't know that I'm going to be able to do much with his hand. So I decided to go into the hook with him, and I didn't do too bad. Like, I definitely was a lot. He got opened up a bit, but then he was really good technique-wise of getting behind his arm. So this is where I was saying earlier how I made more technical mistakes than maybe game plan mistakes. Even though I did make some game plan mistakes, the technical mistakes were definitely that as I'm setting my hook, I'm setting it to the side and then dropping back, and then I'm like in this kind of like leaning back under the table position while still in a hook, which can be good for a dragging hook once you have enough position. But what I really need to focus on more is coming forward more, and then once I've got some hand position, is just fighting to get more shoulder position over my hand before I start to really try to drive to the pad. And that was definitely the technical mistake that I just kept repeating, especially once I see the film, because it doesn't feel as much like I'm doing that when I'm doing it, right? So I did that with him, and then he got behind his arm, he did the right thing, like went defensive hook, and like I said, he's real good inside and got real good press, so he kind of like has this way of combining like pushing with dragging, so he just kind of like pushed and dragged me out this way. I thought I'd be able to hang on, and when I was pulling Evan and I went into my King's move in the very, very first match, when he went to pin me, or in one of the hits, I felt a couple little like as I was getting opened up, and didn't feel like too bad or anything, and afterwards everything felt fine, so I wasn't too worried about it. But when Jaden started to open me up, I felt the same thing, but like louder and bigger, like as it was like kind of opening up this way, and then I was like, oh shit, you know. So he had to beat me twice, and I had to beat him once, because he was C-side and I was B-side. So we went again, and when we went again, I hit high, like Lewis said, and I actually like dumped my wrist and got out with the slip, but in doing so, I felt like really sharp pain up in my brachialis, like on this side. Which when I tore this side, that's where I felt it happen. It felt like it happened up here, but it was actually happening down here, which is really weird. So I got real nervous, obviously, about that. I went to Alex on the back. I said, give me some back pressure. He gave me a little back pressure, and I was just about to get strapped to this kid. So my option was 100% going to be back pressure. And we're fighting, like Curtis has just been running through everybody, so we're fighting for a silver versus a bronze medal. Like neither of us are going to get this belt right now, especially not me. Even if I get through him, there's no way I'm getting through a basically fresh Curtis. So I went and felt your back pressure, felt the like sharp pain there, and just decided to forfeit the second match. Also wanting, like, I can still hold the peg, I can still pull with my left arm, so I wanted to be able to do that, where if I go into this and actually like hurt myself even worse, that would suck, but then I also would not be able to pull for the rest of the day, which would suck as well. So I think it was a strategic time to bow out. If Curtis was out of the picture and this was for the belt, I think I would have like decided to go to the strap and tried to either go inside for a press or something. Cameron Quayle had a great day as well. He was actually able to flash press Jaden really well. So that's not something I've been able to find in practice, but I feel like if it was that much of a do or die, hopefully I would have risen to that moment there, but I felt strategically it was better to back off in this one.
Good call there.
And then left arm I think went really well in the beginning, and then like I said, I just by the last couple matches started to fall asleep and then made really bad game plan
I think we were all dehydrated and underfed by that point.
Trying to drink water, but it was a hot day, humid as hell, so you're just sweating a lot, and you're highly caffeinated all day, right? So you're definitely dehydrated. And definitely game plan mistakes. So every match before was basically like get like into a kind of a high hook defensive position and then just pull through, and I was doing really well with that. The only person who got me a little bit far out was Robin, and he hit a little early with a really nice ready hit, but I was able to stop him still, and then once I pulled back, it was an easy day. And then there was this French guy there. We've never seen him before, right?
JP something.
I don't know when I've ever seen him before. But he was strong as fuck. And really just like ronking people, like just pork chopping them. And I feel like in the setup, I should have definitely gone for his hand, but for some reason, just falling asleep, I got into that defensive hook position that had been feeling so good, so I just kind of got comfy and was like, go ahead, pull on it, like I know you're going to get to that like lock point, and he just didn't. He was just able to pull right through it, and that's it's not often that my arm gets opened up that way, even in practice, unless I'm really fatigued and stuff. So he's definitely got a lot of pressure that way, and he applied a weird like downward pressure as opposed to like side and drag. It was, and you can kind of see it how he was doing it. So I feel like if I had another go at it and I was more awake, I might have been able to do better. But stupid strong either way, definitely got through me. And then Zach, now that I see the video, I just didn't end up, he was able to fight for so much more than me in the setup, which is cool because he said that like he's totally been training so hard since we crushed him the last time we pulled him, which was like a couple of years ago now. But he noticed how much he got just dominated in the setup against us, and he's been like focusing on not doing that.
He definitely beat you in the setup.
And watching all his matches, like, I know.
Get more center.
I can hear it, and I'm just like, I really did feel asleep at that. Not taking anything away from him, but there was part of it where I felt I was trying to get the ref to turn it out for us, And then I did feel pretty comfortable, but now seeing it, I can see how far out I actually was, and more so how much he was able to get himself in a good position, which is like kudos to him, and he is stupid strong, especially once he gets his position. So same, I got into this defensive hook. It started to open up again because he had such a good position, and I was like so out and like leaning away from my arm. And then I tried to roll and got called for a pin, which I felt was early, but then seeing the film for sure, it was like once you dip your hand to roll, you lose a lot of ground there, and it's definitely this part of my hand that went under the pin line. So yeah, not like super disappointed by those losses. Oh, the match I didn't talk about was the match with Evan.
Right.
So that was my best performance on left arm, definitely was my match with Evan. But I made another technical mistake there, or I guess it's a game plan mistake in the match, because I hit high, got good hand position, had my side of the table, and then when I came back up to reset, what I did against Rick was once I hit high and took his hand, when I came back to reset, I dropped a hook and then dragged him down, and it worked great. And for some reason with Evan, even though he had like a good low hand position, so I was over his hand, like posting this way, when I came back up, I went to try to turn him in. But I guess with Rick was trying to post with me, and I beat his post, and he's still trying to post. So when I came up to turn him in, it worked. Yeah. Where Evan is out like dragging on me this way, so when I came up to turn him in, it didn't work, and I lost that height position that I had gotten in the beginning of the match. So now when the hook didn't work, when I dropped back down, I had to roll and ended up in a king's move. And my king's move held up pretty good. I tried to, because I had a foul to waste at this point, so I tried to professional foul off the back when he reset to the top and get an elbow foul, and then he pins me, and he definitely pins me, and Tony calls a stop, and I was really hoping, I was like, oh, I think I got out of it, like with an elbow foul when you get a restart, because he had lost his wrist at that point. I had definitely beat him off the go, and had he already pulled Curtis? Or was I his first? Was I before Curtis?
I think that was before Curtis.
Okay, so either way, I felt like if I had got a restart, I would have had a really good chance. Yeah. But they called the pin and didn't call the elbow foul. It happens. It's how it goes. So, but still really happy with how that went. Left hand is definitely feeling really good on that high angle. It's that Houghton 45 that I have with from training with Dustin for so long, who just won nationals on left arm. So his left arm is serious. Hopefully,
he's going to Worlds.
Yeah, hopefully he's going to Worlds. He's trying to raise some money for that. So hopefully he gets to go there. But it's good to know what level it's at and just see that it's definitely coming back to full form. And now that I have this defensive hook that I can rely on if I do it properly, it's definitely improving, even though I didn't score that well at the tournament. It's going to do better. I'm going to be pulling at Dunville on Saturday. I don't know if this might come out before then. Yeah. I'll be pulling left arm there. It's definitely a heavy group of guys. Stacked class. So treating it more like a practice pull. Not going to try to die, but if I have a good day, great. If I suffer some bad losses, not a big deal. So.
So shout out to Joe Gould's Arm Fight Club. Yep. Link in the description for the videos that they posted about the event.
And Be Strong Arm Wrestling
as well.
His links, because he's got lots of great footage as well. It was a long video, but got it all out. Table Monkeys, fucking, I don't know, checking in for next time.
Yeah. Signing out for now.
And Monkeys out.
Peace.